Welcome to round number 3 with White Weenie, and we're here with this 7-card hand that we've decided to keep. We're going to lead on the Doomed Traveler. I do not know what the opponent is playing, but we'll see momentarily. Now this hand has fairly decent curve, uh, an array of threats, it's got equipment, and it looks like we're playing against perhaps blue-black or mono-black. So we're going to go ahead and press the attack here. I'm going to follow up with a Loyal Cathar, and from there we're going to start playing out these Veteran Armor guys. He may have a turn 2 Ravenous Rats for us. Oh, he's got the Witches. So we're going to be able to combat this pretty well. We can either remove it, we can attack into it, or we can simply play the Veteran Armorer to nullify it. I think I'm going to go ahead and just remove it so we can get in for the damage, though. There aren't many creatures in mono black that we really care about removing, and it is possible that he can just kill the Veteran Armorer and then shoot down the Doomed Traveler. I'd rather make him waste some more cards on it. See, these two decks are interesting because they're both card advantage centric creature decks. And we'll see if he's going to Chittering Rats us here. Sign in Blood. Okay, so he's actually in a pretty tough spot. I think we're going to go ahead and attack and then try and resolve Squadron Hawk and Bone Splitter. I don't see a reason to play the Armorer this turn. Squadron Hawk helps us negate any of his card discard effects, I guess I should say. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play the Squadron Hawk. Gets us into the air, and if he thinks he can use another Witch to start shooting down Hawks, he's going to be sorely mistaken. Let's go ahead and resolve Bone Splitter. He's already at 11, so anything short of a Tendrils or a Spinning Darkness is not going to be too good for him. I have no problem suiting up Squadron Hawk and playing Veteran Armorer next turn. And he's just sitting on what looks like Tendrils of Corruption, so we also have the option of playing War Falcon and Veteran Armorer, or trying to get in for 6, which would put him on a 2-turn clock, though it's pretty obvious he's got some sort of removal spell. So maybe I want to do that next turn. He's got at least one removal spell here, so equipping doesn't do a whole lot for us, so I'm going to go ahead and just get in for 4. Then I'm going to put 4 more power on the board. And see how he likes it. Now, we have to try and determine whether or not he has Tendrils or Corrupt in the main deck, or in the deck at all, which will kind of determine whether or not we want to bring in Prismatic Strands. Now, I'm just waiting for him here. Hopefully we're still connected. Yeah, we are, so we're just waiting for him. He's going to cast Funeral Charm on the Squadron Hawk, which is fine. And is he going to do anything else? It's really hard to say because he's not passing priority. Going to make sure we're not auto-yielding to anything. And yeah, he's going to draw a card with Unearth. And maybe Funeral Charm again, or he's going to use Spinning Darkness, something like that. It's kind of strange he's doing this all before combat. So he does have Spinning Darkness, excuse me. And yeah, that's going to kill our guy. So we're going to end up hitting him for 1. He's still got 5 cards, which is pretty impressive. But this Veteran Armor guy is going to protect our creatures from Funeral Charm, which is pretty nice. And we can even play a second one next turn. So he's essentially only killed one of our creatures, and we still have 7 power on the board. And he's at our end step, he ended up cycling. So I think next turn I'm going to actually play Veteran Armorer number 2 and equip something. This is going to hopefully protect us from any more tricks. So let's go ahead and equip the Doom Traveler. It has the lowest power. And this will threaten for 579 damage. So we'll take him down to 4. Make it pretty difficult for him to stop us. If he does use an Edict effect, we will sacrifice the Doom Traveler. And he continues to insist on using removal on our attack step. So we're going to go ahead and sacrifice the Doom Traveler. And maybe while this is on the stack, he will Edict us again. So I think perhaps even sacking this guy will be appropriate, so that we can still get in for 6 damage and put him dead next turn. Then again, he might have another Spinning Darkness, which is looking like it might be the case. However, it's not a huge problem because we still have ample pressure in hand and on the board. He's down to 2 cards, soon to be 3 when he untaps. Oh wow, another Funeral Charm. It's okay though. We're just going to fight through all this removal, continue to attack his life total, do whatever we can. He has failed to present a threat, but now he has. So we'll go ahead and put this on top. I'm going to hit him in the air for 3. Offer the trade with Unhallowed Cathar and play Leonin Sky Hunter. He's going to take the trade. So that's a 2-for-1 right there. And we still got 5 power on the board. So he's going to have to really draw into some goodness in order to dig out of this. Because we fought... Yeah, that's going to be good. That's part of it. But we've managed to fight through a large number of his removal here. So as long as we can continue to force in damage, I think we're going to be okay. Now the thing here is that we don't want to give him too much value in the form of the Kumbaj Wish activation. In fact, it's really not much of an option for him to do that. What we can do is play the Armorer and force him to use this, which will then cause him to take a point of damage, and then we can choose to equip something else. So we're kind of forcing his hand here. If he opts to kill the Spirit, we just equip some other guy. So we're going to target him. And now we will equip the Squadron Hawk and get in with the other creatures. Perhaps we'll equip the Doom Traveler, allowing us to attack into this Witch. He's going to concede, it seems. Maybe he has no way to stop this, which is something I didn't really consider, but we'll see. Yep, looks like we take game number 1. So going forward, we're going to want to decide what we want to do for game number 2. Now, there isn't a whole lot we want to board out of, because most of our threats here are going to provide card advantage on our side of things. And I think we want to leave in 4 Journey to Nowhere purely for those witches, because the witches are going to be a bit of a problem for us. Cards I would like to bring in include the Prismatic Strands and the Aven Riftwatcher, which gain us some value regardless of the fact that his deck is set up to, 2-for-1 us and do all these other cool card advantage-y things. Though I don't really see much I want to take out, to be honest. The Javelineers is a little less than stellar. But even then, I don't think I want to board out of too many of my threats because he's very removal heavy, and we want to be threat dense. I may even just leave it like this. I could see cutting one Javelineer in favor of a Strands, but leaving up mana for Strands is also not completely. It's not the best thing we could be doing, though. Strands in the past has been pretty useful for me against mono black. This is actually really tough. I think I'm going to leave the boarding like this on the draw. We'll see a little bit more of his deck and decide what it is we want to do in case we go to a game 3. But one of the important things is just mulliganing into an aggressive hand, and this is a keepable hand here. We do have 2 Squadron Hawks, but it's not the worst thing ever. We have a nice curve. We have a creature or 2 that are resilient to removal, so I'm not going to be too concerned. I'm going to go ahead and lead on the Javelineer in case he does have a 1 toughness creature like Ravenous Rats. We have some discard fodder in the form of Squadron Hawk. But if he plays Witch, we can remove it. Yeah, we're going to have to remove this. We can also Armorer. But similar to last game, I think we just want to remove the Witch now. And kind of take the game into the air. You know, even on the ground, if he doesn't have any other creatures, we can still get in damage. But from here, I'm looking to resolve some Squadron Hawks and kind of go to town. If he has a second Witch, no, he's got a Sign in Blood. So this is very similar to the first game so far. I'm going to go ahead and attack him, and then I'm going to resolve. Well, we have some options. We can play out 2 Doom Travelers, or we can play a 2-power guy, or we can play the Squadron Hawk. The Doom Travelers actually seem okay. It's the same amount of power as this. We don't draw cards off of it, but it puts more bodies on the field, which I think there's something to be said about that. They're going to become 1/2s, which will help us out. We can attack into Chittering Rats and then shoot it with Javelineer. He's going to cast Dead Weight. Okay. That resolves. He's going to pass. So our options are from here to Bone Splitter up. Play the Armorer. I think I'm just going to attack him and play a Squadron Hawk. If he uses a Crypt Rats for 1 next turn, we can also resolve Loyal Cathar. That's another option. If he uses a Crypt Rats for 1 next turn, we still get some bodies out of it. We also can start hitting him for 4. But this looks like an Echoing Decay, which might be what he's trying to do here. Let's attack and see what he wants to do, then we can decide what we want to do. Yeah, it is an Echoing Decay. So that's fine. I think we're going to go ahead and play Loyal Cathar. Again, it's more power on the board. It's resilient to removal, and it's going to attack through a Chittering Rats once we resolve the Armorer. So he's just going to pass on 3 lands. It's very good that he didn't hit a land drop there. He's going to play a Phyrexian Rager. Okay. So we can force him to take 4 in the air here, and then maybe trade with this. He trades and he goes to 11. But playing the Armorer is even better because none of our guys die. And he'll take 4 anyway, most likely. He probably isn't going to chump block. So, I mean, he could have the Spinning Darkness. But this is just going to get more done. Because he's waiting so long, it leads me to think he might have Spinning Darkness. And he could darkness that and block. Again, we still get some value, so... But it looks like that's going to be his play. Nope, he's going to take 4. And now we've got Bone Splitter. And Squadron Hawks is a follow-up, so he's really going to need to start hitting lands and hitting more removal. He does hit the land, so let's see what he wants to do. He's got witches, but this first. And we're going to have to decide what we want to do. So we can equip the Spirit. That play is kind of weak against Echoing Decay, but it sets up Squadron Hawks pretty nicely. We can also equip the Cathar and try and get him to trade for the witches. I think I like equipping the Spirit though, trying to put him on a clock. This forces him to have Echoing Decay, and then he has to use it. And then he's going to be more tempted to use it on these Spirit tokens rather than on the Armorer or on our Squadron Hawks. So let's go ahead and go in. And we could offer a trade with this double block. I actually don't mind that. Then that gives him just far less blockers. Yeah, he's got another Echoing Decay, from what I can tell. We see that he's playing dead weight rather than Disfigure, so we can opt not to, play around Disfigure. Looks like he's gonna block. Yeah, he's gonna double block. We'll go ahead and put the damage on the Rager. Like so. He's going to lose a guy. We're going to retain this guy. He goes to 7. And we're not going to play around Crypt Rats. We're going to go ahead and draw a couple cards here. And really put him to the sword. So he's going to Geth Verdict us in the meantime. We're going to sack the Spirit that's not equipped. That way we don't get our team shot down by these witches. We will use the ability and we will search up the remaining 2 Hawks. And we'll pass. So again, we're looking pretty good here. Doesn't have a whole lot. He's going to need to hit a Spinning Darkness or something in order to stay in it. But he drew that land from what I can tell. He's going to unearth the Phyrexian Rager going to 6. And we have 4 in the air, which I think we're just going to swing with. We also have a War Falcon, so what I think I want to do is just attack in the air. I'm not going to offer this trade with the Witch, though I could. I think it's going to be important to keep as many soldiers as we can, though it's not that important. So why don't we get in with this guy, force him to block, or to use the Witch activation, makes him take another point, which I think is fine. And hopefully he didn't draw the Spinning Darkness, though he may have. We want to give him as little time to draw it as possible. So we are going to play the War Falcon, and then we're also going to play the Squadron Hawk. Victim of Night, okay. That resolves. And he's going to shoot down Spirit and take 1. And then he's going to take another. He blocks. And then we're just going to have to play some more guys that are unfortunately going to get shot. But every time he shoots, he takes a point of damage, which is good for us. He's deciding whether or not he wants to block. He's going to block. And we're going to go ahead and just play our birds out. I mean, he's still dead if he doesn't have another removal, but I think he will. I mean, he can also cast Shrivel or something right here. He's on 3 cards, so he's going to draw a card. He's trying to hit that Spinning Darkness. I can go for the win here, but I don't know that it's the wisest course of action. I think it'll be fine if we don't draw a land. Yeah, so we're not going to draw a land, which is fine. I think he's actually dead if he doesn't have Spinning Darkness. So let's go ahead and go for it. We'll go for the victory. Equip the Squadron Hawk. If he doesn't have Spinning Darkness, he is kaput. So we'll see. Attack with 3 guys and see if he concedes. Alright, and we take match number 3, so we're going into match number 4. That's going to determine whether or not we end up cashing out here. So this is Jason Moore signing off, and we'll see you for the final round.